Hello, awesome people. I hope you are having just a majestic day today. Today we're taking a look at the short story The Crawling Kingdom by Rod Heather. It's the next short story in the the Tsathoggua Cycle, which I'll link to you in the comments below. It was published in 1996 for you folks. And it's fun stuff. The Crawling Horror is basically a faster read. I read it last night for the first time ever. I'll link you to this collection below. It's published by Chaosium a couple of decades ago, more recently, and so forth. And it brings together a lot of things that were written with Tsathoggua as the big bad. So he is created in the pulp era by Clark Ashton Smith in a fantasy world that he created set a few thousand years ago in our world. And then what happens in a short story called The Tale of Tsathoggua Cycle, and while sharing it before publication with his fellow authors like H.P. Lovecraft, he likes it lots and brings it into his Cthulhu Mythos in a novella that he ghostwrites for Zelia Bishop called The Mound, which he was supposed to be published a little earlier. Both of them were delayed. The Tale of Tsathoggua Cycle by a couple of years, and The Mound not ever published during Lovecraft's time. It was a few years later, 1949, was an abridged version. The original version, of the full version, wasn't published until the 80s. Right, a long time to wait for his first interpretation of Tsathoggua. And Lovecraft is a more darker and version of it and so forth. And then somebody else, Robert E. Howard, will be the first one to write about Tsathoggua to get it published. Another of the big three for weird tales back during the pulp era. He was the creator of Conan. For you folks, this collection has a bunch of things in it like we've already seen and read, like The Tale of Tsathoggua Cycle, for example, is in there too, which creates an Order 7 Gesches, which is a classic fantasy early era by Clark Ashton Smith. And so it's a set of his things. Now, this next short story is set in the modern era, and it's by Heather. It's about 13 pages long. It didn't take me half an hour for me to read it last night. It was a nice, fast, and fun little lighter read for you folks. So basically, what's happening is our point of view character is an author for a small little town in Appalachia, which is fine with me because I'm from West Virginia. And he is dedicated to studying some of the he's a journalist for a local journal that basically has these monthly issues that look at different, and one of his columns is to look at monthly people of interest in the area. And one of those is a professor, doctor, who's a herpetologist who specializes in toads and frogs. And so he's a specialist in that amphibians. And so he's come here, and he lives here out in the middle of nowhere. He rarely comes to town. He just comes to town to get visits and such. He's really more of a recluse. He teaches and such. And so our journalist is going to set out to there. Now he finds out that he is his brand new car is he's really far out and so forth. And this is a 1989 car. And remember when this was written in 1996, it's probably temporarily with this short story. And so he's going to set out for an interview with this herpetologist, a reclusive guy nowadays. So there you are. That's the setup, and I'll go ahead and leave you to it. It's about 2 or 3 pages in for you folks. So what happens and such, I'll leave it to your imagination. And I tried to keep my reviews spoiler-free as a reminder. So if you want to talk about this in the comments below, please do so. But just make sure that you use spoilers-free stuff, so that people who have not heard of it such are not going to be disappointed, right? And so forth. So one of my quick thoughts on this fast and short story. It took me very little time for me to knock out. I thought it was nice little diversion. It wasn't the longest short story in the world. It wasn't the shortest short story in the world, but it was close. Barely more than a dozen pages, right? And double digits barely, right? So it's closer, has a faster read for you folks, but I think it was a nice diversion, if you will. I'm giving a 7 out of 10 for Heather's short story for you folks. So it's good stuff. I do like the creepiness of what the evocation that you'll find like about 2 or 3 pages after I stopped giving my deep dive into the short story. So I think you'll like that too if you pick up this collection. That creepy atmosphere that he gives to it, but not that much doesn't spend that much time doing a deeper dive into the creepy atmosphere because that'll be a lot longer than 13 pages, right? But I like it. And I like it. Definitely cool stuff. So there you are. That is my short story. So I'm moving it at 7 out of 10 for you folks. Have you read it? If so, what did you think about it? Let's talk about it more in my comments below. And again, keep it spoiler free. And if you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10, let's talk about that too. If you like this video, why not hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell icon if you're feeling frisky to be notified of my videos a week. And then finally, let your friends know. So Cthulhu Mythos fans, other fans, Clark Ashton Smith fans, because this is originally credited in him and his finest in the world, that sort of a thing. War stuff, whatever. So there you are, or Heather fans. So there you are. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my video, right? Because we have so many things that are happening in our lives and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spend time with me, that's incredibly humbling and I appreciate it much. And then finally, my channel's name, The Worst Thing About New Books, is a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, from the 19th century, that said that the worst thing about them was he kept us from reading the old ones, right? And there's definitely some stuff that's a few decades old, right? We might have forgot about it. That's the passion of this channel. So there you are. Thanks again and have a great day.